Is this as Jay and Darby says and the rest of them? That this is future? That you shouldn't reverence God? Your maker and creator, you should just push him to one side and reverence and worship yourself because of your own arrogance and ignorance for doing so? Eh? I said to a young lad once, he was going through this shopping centre, and he got a Bible in his hand, and he said he was going to preach, and I said, well, what are you going to preach? He said, the gospel. I said, well, you're going to preach the law then? Oh, he looked at me. I said, it's the law. Gospel is the law. And I referred him to this page, and I said, right, here it is, the gospel. Well, he looked at me with daggers. Absolute daggers. And then he got up and preached Arminianism. They don't want to know the gospel. They want to know a gospel that pleases man. And these beggars know nothing about humility. What they do is they go around and they put on false piety, wring their hands like Uriah Heep. I'm ever so humble, Mr. Copperfield. Oh, so humble. You know, there are things of this world that men write within this world that are reflective of the spiritual side of things. Even as Paul remarks, you see, we're not monks at the end of the day. We use this world as though not touching this world. We handle as handling not. And there are works of music, the works of poetry, there are various works and arts in the world of which we listen to and use. It's part of the theatre of life. And this is one of the things that a truly humble soul understands, that this world is a theatre. A theatre. And God puts on this show, this play, for his own glory. And whilst we are partaking of this, there are marvellous things that cannot be accounted for, things we don't understand. It's the part of theatre. It's the pleasantness of life. But there are those things that we do understand. And it's a wonderful, marvellous world, a creation, this great big marble in space. One of the things also, if we gain humility, not only do we distrust ourselves and seek to establish the truth, the absolute truth, evidence of things, but we see through, again, we see through things. We see how people play. We see how governments play, the soap operas of governments, and we stand back and we turn away from them. Just gradually, every so often, look at them. Oh, this is still going on, is it? Oh, right, yeah, right. The kingdom of heaven, the government of heaven is far better than this trash, this soap opera. Tomorrow, will Boris come out of the closet? Eh? Or tomorrow, will Boris, the adulterer, take into his number 10, the tart, such and such. Get tuned in tomorrow for the latest episode. Doo 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 doo. And it's all scripted. It's all scripted. And people sit back, you see, like they do any soap opera on these abominations in the corner. And they argue, oh, such and such, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I do this, I do that. Yes, right, okay, but where is God in all this? I'll close with this. I keep telling people, if you're listening to Parliament and being taken in by Parliament, you're fools. Okay? Because it's all scripted. It's all scripted beforehand. And it's all being played out. And I said to somebody recently about Boris Johnson in the English Parliament. 3 years ago I said to people, he will become the next prime miscreant, okay? The PM, prime miscreant in this country. And laughed at me. I said at the time, it's all been scripted. Wheels within wheels. Ezekiel's wheels within wheels. Behind the scenes. We're not arguing now. We miss things. If we are self-possessed, we miss things. We miss what is clearly before us. And that's where I'm going to end. And yes. Those who seek to punish us and do so are actually punishing Christ. In the sense that Christ is within us, the hope of glory. Jesus Christ says it of himself. Does he not in Matthew 25? Verse 45. Christ there is talking to the hypocrites. The goats, the hypocritical goats, the whited sepulchres, who sought to copy Christianity. And he says this, when the hypocrites said they'd served the poor and the needy, etc., etc., Christ then says this, then shall he answer. Let's go back to verse 41. Then shall they also, this is the goats, answer him saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Now these are the ones, these are nominal Christians that despise the Christians. Despise them. They would go to the general public, to those those who are unconverted, whilst despising the Christian, like the Romanist despises the Christian, but the Romanist does his works, okay, the works of supererogation and all that. And Christ says to these people, who didn't serve and therefore abused the true Christians, then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. If you abuse the children of God, if we abuse the children of God, Raka and all that, we are abusing Christ. We should bear his image. He is after all the refiner of silver, and we are the silver in the furnace of affliction, of which Christ pulls out. We have a rest. He looks at his image to see if his image is coming to fruition. The image of course, being righteousness and holiness of the life, puts it back in if necessary. If not necessary, he doesn't put it back in. But generally there is a little bit of tarnish here. It has to go back in, so we go through a period of fiery trials. Sometimes we're so bad at the first that the fiery trials seem one after another, after another, after another. And it's as though the Lord is sitting there, the refiner of silver, and he's pulling it out and saying, no way, throw it back in. Pulling it back, at some stage pull it back out, and no, shove it back in. Until, yep, it's becoming what it should become. This child of God is becoming what he or she is becoming. More of the image of righteousness and of holiness, of truth, of honour, of goodness. All that was in the first Adam. But of course with the first Adam, he had no sin. And so was not restricted in intelligence. He had pure understanding of everything. And hence why his descendants, and we're going to have to cut off here, we're getting carried away, his descendants would be able to build great cities, great pyramids, musical instruments, to have furnaces and forges, and all the things that the secular world now said he couldn't have because the secular world has dismissed God. It's dismissed God, and the wicked thing about it is it's a secular world that has destroyed the knowledge that pertained to the creating of the ancient world, of pyramids. And they couldn't have had this and they couldn't have had that, because you lot have destroyed it, and now two-faced, barefaced turn round, you secularists, and you say what is absolutely true, that you destroyed it, and you know you destroyed it. You destroyed the knowledge. And then say they couldn't have had the knowledge. You wicked, wicked world. Deceitful, desperately wicked. Let us always seek to be humble before God. We could put to flight 1,000 if we were but humble and express our reigning position with Jesus Christ, because we're all seated with Christ in heavenly places, and we should realise that, and that we reign over condemning sin. Do we not? We're getting carried away here again. But we do. We reign with Jesus Christ across the day of grace. Romans 5, chapter 5, verse 17, we read, for if by one man's offence death reigned by one, that's Adam, much more they which receive the abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness shall reign in life by one, Jesus Christ. We reign. Bye bye.